So on the catty corner across from us, there's a large statue. Anybody know who that is? I'll give you the name. That's right, where you're cheating, looking at the name of the street. It's also called Willie Nelson Boulevard. And watch your tires, guys. So, Willie Nelson is sitting out here in front of the Moody Theater, which is where they shoot Austin City Limits. And this is a big deal because this is the longest running music television show ever. It's been filming continuously since 1977. And anyone else care to take a guess on who their very first performer was? That's right, Arya. I see you're a lover of the show. Well, he's performed there more than anyone else, by the way. So that's why he's honored by having his statue up here. And I also want to mention that Austin City Limits has replaced Carnegie Hall as the major benchmark for the careers of musicians. So I've heard big bands that have sold out stadiums, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Delta Spirit, Fleet Foxes, blubbering about how much it means to them to be playing on this stage. There's only like 1,000 seats in the audience. It's not a huge stage, but it meant so much to them. And it was really warming for me to see that. But besides the big names, and ACL gets those, we also try to get the up-and-comers as well. We try to be trendy. And some of these people are very talented, but they never find their audience. They never really make it big. But other bands, they use their appearance on ACL as the launching off point for their career. And that's when they first explode in popularity. So it's exciting, and I highly recommend checking out some shows in this theater. Besides ACL, they have other shows most nights of the week, and it's the best soundstage in Austin. It's not a huge theater, but no seat is a bad seat. Everything's like within 150 feet of the stage, and they do that by going really steep and having story after story after story to make that happen. Now, we're going to turn towards the lake now, and I want to bring your attention to the right where we have City Hall. We also have a lot of homeless out there as well. We recently repealed the permit for homeless people to camp everywhere. That's why there's this Austin is the fastest growing city in the country. It's been that way year after year after year after year. And I thought that with the Rona it would slow down, right? Because who wants to move to a cool town if you can't go out? But I was wrong about that, and I was wrong about Bitcoin and a lot of other stuff. So the higher cost of living is why we have so many homeless. A lot of them, they just give up because it's so hard to keep up with the rising costs. Get ready to cross up here.
First Street. This is the bridge on First Street. Right over there is Congress. We are on this right here it was called Town Lake, but then they renamed it to be Lady Bird Lake after Lady Bird Johnson. There's a couple different areas of it. There's a little Lady Bird Lake right here. There's Lake Austin further up, but it's all part of on the Colorado River, which is different than the one in Colorado. But in Spanish, Colorado means like red or the color red, so that's why they named it that. But otherwise, we are on Lady Bird Lake right now. Right over there, that right there is Congress Bridge, which is also one of the homes to the largest bat colony in the world. So right over there on the right-hand side of the bridge, usually from spring until like November-ish, there are about 600 to 700,000 bats under there. But then in a few months, which will be in like July or August or so, there's going to be about like 2 million bats, because they're all pregnant right now and waiting to have all their babies. And so there are going to be millions of bats all over, and they come out every night at sunset. So if you ever want to come out at sunset, you can come towards the bridge and watch all the bats fly everywhere. You can either go on top of the bridge, like, and watch from down below, or you can also go by the little grassy area. You can see that little grassy area by the hike and bike trail over there. That's also a good spot to go and see them, and you can look up ahead and see them flying. Otherwise, you can also go on the water, like you see how these people are in like the little kayaks, or you can go on a paddleboard or canoe or on one of the boats.
Can you see from here?
You can see it from here, but it's not as well, because they come at sunset and they're small and they fly around, and they're usually all around this bridge. So it's right around in that bridge area. And at first people were freaking out because they're like, oh, look at all these bats. But one of the good things about the bats, having the bats around here all the time, is we don't have as much of a problem with, well, what's one big thing with water? Mosquitoes, yes. Mosquitoes are terrible, but here we don't have as much of them because the bats eat them. So the bats help take care of the mosquito problem. So that's a very beneficial side. I like that aspect of it. So then you don't get bit as much. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of bats over there. Otherwise, the water is a fun place to go. There's a hike and bike trail right over there that people go around a lot. Austin's very like a nature-oriented city as well, so people like to go outside and go on a walk or run like those people are doing. So it could be a good place to go see the bats as well.
What caused the bats to come here?
Because it's nice and warm, and they're the Mexican free-tailed bats, and it's like a good stopping point for them to go down south. As well as the way that the bridge is constructed, it's a good place for them to just like hide in those little holes right over there. And then they just found like a great place to go, and then they just keep coming back, kind of like the animals that just come back to their favorite spot. And it became such like a really good area for them, and they felt safe and everything, so they just kept coming back year after year, and it keeps growing and growing and growing.
Alright guys, foot break's over. Get back on your Segways, and we're gonna mosey on along and explore some of the parks south of the river. who in your group has the best newest cell phone, and I'll take a photo.